Hello and how are you? My name is Mahindo Mbarak and I welcome you to another session of learning how to make mobile application using Flutter. We always do 40 minutes, so I'll start our timer. After 40 minutes, we'll have a rest. So I'll request all of you to be attentive in the course of 40 minutes. Then after I'll go and have some rest, so don't worry. So today we are going to proceed from where I stopped at in the previous lecture, and we are going to look at how we can finish our news application. So in this news application, we're learning a lot of things: how to integrate with the API. I mean, with the online APIs, how to implement the offline capabilities, how to do what, how to make HTTP requests, how to cache images. All those things are in one package, and I hope you guys are following very carefully, and I hope you're learning. So in this, what I'm teaching you, it can be that idea, but once you have that knowledge together in your head, you can think very, very creatively and see how you can change those things into a different thing or in a kind of idea that you can do in a real world and earn a living. So without taking much time, let's go straight to today's business. So we'll go ahead and open the application. This is the app, and this is our source code. And I'm going to go ahead and run the source code so we can be able to do it. Resume. So yesterday we stopped at the place where we had implemented the slider, we had implemented the offline caching. We had also implemented what else did we implement? All those we had already implemented that. So today we're going to see how we can make a single page preview, like when someone wants to read the details about the news, and maybe also take it from there, maybe sharing etc. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. All right, so we'll come here, we'll open our news, which is this one here. That's the app that we created. So that is our simple news. So you can see the news will come there. And one beautiful thing that you should notice here is that the application does not even show things of loading. Why? It's because we implemented what? We implemented the offline caching. So it is a very powerful tool. I mean, it's a very powerful feature in modern applications. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do now the single page, whereby someone would click and see the details about the news that they want to read. Okay, so to do that, we're going to create a separate screen that we're going to be receiving the news and then display them on a single screen or the detailed screen. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'll come to application, I'll come to our code, and then we come to to our screens, the screens or the pages, lib pages. So this is where we're putting all the code of the news app, and you're going to create a it is here, this one here. Okay, so in here we're going to put another screen for showing the news detail. Okay, the news detail page. You can even use this very screen, or you can even do a separate one. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a fresh new screen. Okay, so I'm going to just simply click here and say new file, and this one I'm going to call it so it's going to be number 3, news underscore app underscore maybe article details, or maybe news detail, article detail screen, like that. So this is the screen who will be showing the article details. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the class. So just simply say stateless or stateful. We can do stateful, can do stateless, it doesn't matter. So let me put stateful widget and then press enter. Then I'll go ahead and put the name of the class, which is going to be news app, and then article, then detail, then screen. All right, so after doing that, I'll go ahead, so I can collapse this guy. I'll go ahead and import these stateful widgets. So I'll press alt and enter. So I'll come here and press alt and enter, then it will import. So after importing them, now the next thing is we're we are going now to see how we can start putting the news. So let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and begin. So here, instead of putting a stateful widget, okay, let us first navigate to this news article. It is article. Is that the spelling of article? Article. Whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and navigate to this page. Okay, so let's go ahead and navigate to this page. I'll come to the widget. Okay, so I'm going to go to a single item widget, or the widget of this news item. So I'm going to make it clickable, so when someone clicks on it, we take this person to what? To this news item. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So come to our home. This is our home screen, and then after coming to home screen, we're going to see where we have our list, which is here, which is here. This is for headlines. Okay, let's come to where there is a list of news, which is here, the news item UI. If you still remember, this is the news item UI. So you can either make the clickable here, or you can go and make it separate, I mean on the news item itself. So let me go to this news item and make it clickable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press Ctrl and hold it and then click on it, so I can navigate to the news item, which is this one. Okay, so I'm going to surround this container with the clickable listener, or the click listener. So I'll just simply come here around this container and press Alt and Enter, and say, for example, center. Then I'll come and change this word center to inkwell. Inkwell. You know, this inkwell will be able to be clickable. So we're going to put another method inside this inkwell, which you call on tap. Let me first disable Copilot so I can be able to explain things properly. All right. So it's going. This inkwell will take on tap. So I'll open the bracket and then put here like this. Okay. So I want when someone taps here, we should navigate this person to what? To this single news item details. So just simply say navigator dot what? Dot push, and then you pass the build context, and then you pass what here? I don't think even remember. Then you pass, is it the builder? I don't know. I don't know even how it works. Let me go ahead and copy. See, these things, you don't need even to know how they work. You just need to know. You don't need to memorize them, just need how to know how they work. So it is navigator dot push. This navigator must take context. It must take context, otherwise it will not accept. So what we're going to do, first comment this. Okay, so it's going to take context. I'll show you how we can pass context to here. It's going to take material builder, and then you put context. These things I've never memorized them. So the main point here, I'm going to put here the details screen here. You see, I'm going to put the details screen here, so that when someone clicks on this, it should be taken to this. So the details screen will complain. I'll go ahead and import it. Okay, so here we have one thing that is complaining. So something that is outside the screen, it cannot have access to what? To context. So in this news UI, we can also add a second requirement, which we call the build context, and then you'll be receiving the context. So it means that when someone will be calling this news UI, he'll be also providing us the what? The context. So I hope you can see this. In simple terms, I want when someone clicks here, it should be taken to this single news screen. All right, so I'll save. Then of course it will be giving here a warning here on the home page. Why? Because we have not passed the context. So the first item will pass the news article, the second one will pass the what? The context, because here on the main screen you can access the context. So by doing like this, it means that now each item will be clickable. You see, if I come and do like this, you see this item is now clickable. I hope you can see that. I hope no one is confused yet. So let's go ahead and click. So when I click here, tap, I'm able to see what? Our single news item screen, which is having just a placeholder in it. Okay, so let's go ahead and design this screen. Okay, let's go ahead and design this screen. So what we're going to do, so we're going to just simply come to this screen, which is here. I'm going to remove this placeholder and put what? And put a scaffold. Okay. All right, so in this scaffold, I'll come and put a semicolon. it will take the body. So I can say maybe in this body I can put what? Text, and say maybe news details will come here. Okay, so if I save, at least you'll be able to see news details. So the next thing we'll have to give it what? For example, the app bar. So I'll just simply come and say app bar. So this app bar will take app bar, and then here I'll come and give it a background color of red, since it's our theme color. And then after, I'll come and give it what? I'll come and give it a title, and then I can say maybe news details. Okay, so like this, and this is going to be text. All right, so if I do like this, things will look like that. So I can go ahead and maybe make this icon to look white. Okay, this icon, if I want it to look white, I'll just simply come and put what we call icon theme. So icon theme will make that back thing to do what? To look white. So I'll give it color and say white. All right, so I'll come and change this text to look white. So pass what? Style, and put text what? Text style, and then we go ahead and give it a color of white. So by doing like this, we'll have our text to look white. I can even maybe increase on the shade of this red to make it a little bit darker, so it can be this kind of the ready, like that of BBC News. All right, so after doing that, so the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to see how we can display the news here. So the point is, when someone clicks here, you should see the news that I've clicked on. Okay, you see, I shouldn't just see the word news details. I should be able to see the news itself. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So here I should be very attentive, because it is something maybe new to most of you that have not seen it. So the question here is, how do you pass data from this screen to this another screen? Okay, the question is, how do you pass data from this screen of main news to the main news here, to this main news screen? So there are different ways of how you can receive data in another screen. So one way is through using compulsory parameters, like for me to call me, you must provide me this information. Okay, another way you can provide optional parameters. So we'll go ahead and look at those different things. So since this news is about a certain news article, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it compulsory that for someone to open these news details, they must provide what? They must provide us what? They must provide us the news article. So to do that, you come to this class itself. Okay, you remove this constant, remove that constant, and then come here and then put something that you want. So here we want the news model. News model, is it? News model. Let's go, I think it's like this, right? I can say maybe item. Let me go ahead and import it. Yes, that is it. So this is our news model. All right, so I don't even initialize it. I say I need the news model. For someone to call this, I must provide us news model. Then if you want to initialize this news model, so you'll come in this constructor, and then here in front and put this dot what? Dot item. So what does it mean? It means that for someone to call this news screen or to call this constructor, they must provide the what? The news item. Okay, otherwise it will not do what? It will not accept. So it means that now if we come to our widget, the one that was calling the news, this widget of news UI, it means we're going to find it to do what? We're going to find it crying. First of all, it will not accept the constructor. I mean, it's no longer constant. And second of all, it is asking for something to be provided in between here. Okay, and that is the news that you've clicked on. So how can you get the news that you clicked on? Of course, it is this one that is here that we are providing to display, the one that we are displaying, this one where there's m.title, those ones. That's the one that we're going to pass in. So it means that the data that you've passed here, it will be received from the other side of the what? Of the screen. I hope you've understood. So that is one way of how you can pass data from one screen to another. So let's go ahead and see. I think that's okay. So I'll first exit this screen, and then I update my application. What is it saying? It says that I should restart my app. No problem. Let me go ahead and restart the app by just simply clicking on the run. Okay, so the app has started. Let me try to update. Yes, it has updated. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and click on the news. So the news, it will load, and then I should be able to click on this one. So when I click on this, you see I come to this screen. So it means that this data has been passed to the second screen, but only that we have not decided to do what? To display it. I hope you have understood that. That is how you pass data from one screen to another. So if I'm too fast, you can pause the video so you can understand this concept properly, because it is very important. Okay, so I'll go to the second screen, this screen of what? Of news article details. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to display this item. Okay, so I may go ahead, so I'm going to go ahead and for example, put the picture. Okay, so let's go ahead and design what we need to see on the screen. I'll come here and open my Word. Can't we have something that where we can design things that are much more better? Let me see if I can get some clipboard where I can do stuff. Oh my god, it's not there. All right, okay, let's see how we're going to present our screen. Let me open here my Word. So you have to first design. You have to have a paper. You have to have a pen and a paper before you start coding. So before you start design, you have to first design. I mean, before you start coding, you have to first design something. That's why you always see me come here and first design. Then after designing, I focus on my design. So I'm just going to simply come here. I can use the pen. This time I've got the pen. So we're going to have something like this. Let's say this is our application. I mean, this is our what? This is our mobile phone. We are going to have here, sorry, I can undo. So this is where we're going to have the title, okay, which is, you are going here with the word news details, and then here we have the back arrow. Okay, then we're going to have here our picture. So we can decide, I think we can make the picture touch everything up to the end like this. Okay, like this. So the picture can come like this, like that. Okay, so this is the picture, and then we're going to have maybe our title here. Sorry. Okay, we're going to have our title there. Okay, after having the title, we're going to have our date here. Okay, after having the date, then we're going to have our new, okay, maybe we can have here the what? The publisher. Okay, and then here we have the date. Okay, after, then you have our words here, or the news details here. All right, so that is what you're going to do. I think that's a simple UI. Sorry about my drawings. I'm not that good at writing using a computer. Let me see if I can do something better. If I come here to shapes, I think I can simply come. This is our mobile phone. In this mobile phone, we are going to have a what? We are going to have. All right, you've understood the concept. I know you have understood the concept. You're not. You're very bright kids. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to design something like this. Okay, so now we have the picture of what we want in our brains. So if you have a pen and a paper, you have to first design it down, right? So that when you're designing something, you have something that you're following. Otherwise, if you just start designing before you craft something down, then you'll have a problem. Or you can search some article, I mean some UIs on internet, and then they inspire you. Then you design according to those UIs. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and design. So we're going to have our what? Our photo here. The photo is going to spend 100% of the screen. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll come here to where there is what? To the where there is what? Where there is body. So I'm going to remove this body, this text here, and put what? A column. All right. So because it's going to have, things are going to be in form of columns, so I have to put a column, and it's going to take what we call children, multiple things. So the first child is going to be now, since this column, we don't know how big the news will be. It means that now we have to make this one scrollable. Okay, so come outside this column here, click in the column itself, and surround it with a child, for example with a center, and then this center change it to what? To single child scroll view. So otherwise, if you don't do like this, then your data will not be scrollable. Okay, so after doing that, so the first thing that we're going to put a picture here of the news or the article. So what we're going to do, we're going to just simply come to our widget. Of course, we already have something like this. So I just simply come to our widgets where we have the news UI, news item UI. Okay, where can we find it? I think I can find it here. News widget, I mean my widgets. So we have what we call here. So here where we have the first image, I don't want to repeat myself, this one here. So I'm just going to copy this guy the way it is here. Okay, I'm going to copy it and then come and paste it here, the first item. Okay, so I'll import it. Now the question is, how do I get data that I've just imported to this screen? Okay, so you see this data is, we called it here item. Okay, we called it item, so it means that when the data comes, it will come in this and save it in this item. So if you want to access this item, Flutter gives you an object called widget. Okay, this object will always be available, just like the way you see context. So this widget will be able to give you the access to any data that you have this top side of the stateful widget. So just simply put widget, then when you say dot, you'll see I'm able to access dot item. Okay, so when I say widget dot item, I'll be able to receive the data that was passed to this screen. So I can go ahead and put dot image URL to image, something like that. So when I save, boom, you see, that's beautiful, isn't it? It is beautiful. That is very nice. Okay, so we are able to get our image. So if I come here and I click on this one, see, I'm able to get that image. That is so nice. You see, I'm able to get that image. Okay, so maybe we can now make, you see, like if you don't have well organized things, then your things will end up becoming disorganized. So you have to put some limits. So I can give this width, the width of this image, I can make it infinity, so it should span 100% of the screen. So it's spanning 100% of the screen. And the height, I'm going to limit the height because some images you're seeing, they are very tall, others are very small, something like that. So I'm going to limit the height. So the height, there is one way how you can do the height. You can limit according to the size of the screen, or you can limit according to the pixels. Okay, you can say maybe I want 400 pixels, but some phones will be small. Okay, some phones will be small. So you can access the screen using this. If you want to access the size of the screen, you access the size of the screen using what we call media query of context, and then you put here. So you see how I'm going to access the height of the screen. So some screens are small, some screens are big. So what you do, you may relative to the data according to the screen. So it's a media query.of context, and then you put dot size, and then you put dot height. So here you'll be able to get the height and width of the screen. Okay, so let's say that I want to display the height of this screen. Okay, so I can display the height of this screen. So whatever phone that this system is running on, let me display its size here. You see, that's how you access it. Let me remove this constant. So when I save, you see, so this is 867 pixels. So if you make let's say someone has a phone which has like 500 pixels, and then you're making your image to be like maybe 400 pixels. So what does it mean? You'll have not done good to that person. The application will be looking differently. It will not be responsive. So someone who has a smaller phone or a less phone, they'll have a different user experience or different appearance of your app compared to someone who has a bigger phone, something like this. So what to do, when you're designing things, you have to keep these things in your minds. So when you want to display things that you really need to appear exactly how you want, you have to use the relative or the relativity of the screen. Okay, so here, instead of me saying 400 pixels or 400 pixels height, what I'll do, I'll just use the relative of the screen and then say divide this screen by 3 or divide this height by 4, something like that. So I know even if you have a smaller phone, we'll calculate according to your height, and then we'll show you the same thing but on your small phone. So let me go ahead and remove that. So I say this image, I'm going to give it height, and then we can access height using what we call media query.of. Then you pass the context, and then you put .size, and then you put .height. So you can access even the width like that. So you say .height. So if I save, you see it's going to spend 100% of the what? Of the height. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to divide this height maybe by 3. So I'll just surround it and then say divide by what? By 3. So by doing like this, you'll see the height has been reduced. So if I say by maybe by 2.5, you'll see maybe by 3.5, I'm able to play. So even if you have a smaller phone, this height will be what? Will be dynamic. So since they are squeezing the image, I'm going to remove the type of filling. So I just simply come and put here .cover. So cover will make sure it is optimizing the image as much as possible. So here fill, they'll try to squeeze it. Okay, then contain, they'll try to maintain the ratios, but what? You see? So I'll put .cover. I think it's better for me. Save. Sorry, it's cover. Okay, so I think that's okay for me. Okay, so there is contain. You see, they'll make sure the image is not touched. It's just, so that does not look very good. So let me put .cover. All right, so yeah, that will be the image. So when someone will click on this news item, this one, you'll be able to see this. That's beautiful. All right, so let us proceed. So we follow our design. The next thing that we're going to put we begin with the title. We begin with the snippets. Let's begin. I don't know. I think let's begin with the snippets. This one, the date and the publisher, and then we'll come and put now the title. Oh, okay. We'll see where it fits better. So I'll come here. So here next to this column after the image. So you're following the column. The next thing after the image, you're going to put now what you call a row. So you can put here a row. Okay. So after this row, it's going to have children. So the first one is going to be the date. So just simply come and put here text, and then put what? So access the date using widget.item.date, which is published at something like this. So we'll have our date there. All right. So after putting the date, the next thing we're going to put now the manufacturer, the publisher or the author. So I can just simply duplicate this guy, and then I come and put here what you call author, something like this. All right. So after doing that, if I want this date, I know sometimes the date can be big. So if I want this date, I know sometimes this manufacturer can be too long, so you can surround with the expanded. All right, we'll tackle that another day. All right, so I want these guys to be separated, so I'll just simply come and put here align. Okay, cross alignment, and then I come and make it what? Come and make it space between. Okay, it is I think main alignment, and put space between. So one should go the other side and one should go the other side. All right, so after doing that, I'm going to surround this one with a container, this one. So I'll come here, I come this text and surround it to the what? With a container. And then this container, I'm going to give it a color of red, and then I can give it maybe shade 700 or 800. All right, so after doing that, I'm going to give it some padding of edge inset .all, and then say maybe 10. All right, maybe you can say maybe 5. I think that's okay. And then after, I'm going to go ahead and make this text white. So I'm going to give it a style, and then I give it a text style, and then I make it what? I make it white. And then after, I'm going to increase the weight, font weight, and make it maybe 800. So it's going to be font weight .w. Maybe I can just simply put .bold. Okay, .bold. So we'll end up having something like this. All right, so after doing that, let's go ahead and surround this row with a container, so you can have some padding around them. Let me increase here some padding. I think this padding should be like a symmetric, so that maybe the width should be, I mean the horizontal should be given much more space, like maybe 15 or 10. All right, and then maybe the height should be 5. I mean vertical should be something like 5. I think that's makes it much more beautiful. I can maybe make this author to be uppercase, so I set uppercase, something like that. All right, so let's go ahead and surround this row with with a container and give it some margins. So I'll come in this row and surround it with a container, and then I'll go ahead and give it some margin. So it's going to be edge inset dot maybe I can say dot all, and okay, let's put symmetric, and then you say horizontal, we put maybe 15, so we can have some space, and then maybe also vertical, we put 15, so we can have some space. So we can say maybe 5. Okay, so I think 15 will work, but okay, I don't know, maybe 10, I don't know, let's put 15, I don't know, after all it's just for learning. So I think there we're okay. So after doing that, I can maybe say alignment should be center, okay, and then also maybe this one cross alignment should be center, so that this date should be really in center. I can increase the size of the date. Okay, for example, I can come here and increase the style and give it text style. Making something nice, it takes time. Okay, so increase its size, font size, and make it maybe 18. Okay, something like that. I don't know whether that's too much, I don't know. So I can give it font weight of maybe font weight of bold, and then reduce its color because that color is too much shouting. So I give it a color of gray, maybe gray dot shade 600. All right, I think that's okay, that's not so ugly. All right, so make it this one maybe 20. All right, that's too much, that's too much. All right, yeah, there we go. So after doing that, the next thing we're going to put our title there. So you're learning all these things of how to design as well. So after, I'm going to put here our title. So after this row, after this container, I'm going to put now our title here. You remember this is a column. So in this column, I can collapse this one. You see, we have the image, we have the row that is having this information, and then we're going to have now the one that is going to have the title itself. I mean the title of the news. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So to put the title of the news, we'll just simply come and say text, and then say widget dot item dot details. Okay, we begin description. I think they had description details. First go and see. We have description and the content. So those are two things which are different. So have description first. So after you'll put the content. So I'll save that description, and then I go and put also content now, which is the detail of the screen of the article. So let's go ahead and surround these ones with with a column. So I'll come here and just surround them with columns, those two. Okay, so press Alt and enter, and then wrap them with column. So this column, I'm also going to wrap it with with a container, so you can be able to give them some padding. So come and put container, and then this container, give it some padding. Put edge inset dot symmetric maybe, and then put width, I mean horizontal, of 15. I think that's okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so I want to separate these two texts. Okay, so to separate them, I'll just simply put what we call sized box and give them some height, and maybe say 15. I mean, maybe say 10. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, something like that. So the description should be okay. So after doing that, I'm going to style them. So I can just simply come and copy this style and then begin with that. So I'm going to style this one. All right. Okay, you know how to style. So okay, so this style, the first one, it's not going to be bolded, of course. Can remove the font weight. Of course the color may remain, so we just need to increase the font size. Suppose we have not even put the title. Sorry, we'll come for the title. So font size can be maybe 18. All right, okay, and then maybe say line height. You see these words are having like, okay, I can put align, text alignment, and put text align, text align. My God, text align dot what, dot justify, something like that. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I'll come and just copy that style and do it. So maybe because this one is the description, I can give maybe some font weight and make it maybe a little bit bold, something like that. All right, so I'll just copy the same styling, this one here, and I bring it to this next one of the content, but this content I'll not make it bold. I'll just remove this one. All right, so I'll just also give this one to be text align. I put justify. There you go. All right, so maybe the content I should give it some kind of color and say gray, maybe shade something like 700. Yeah, shade 700. I don't want to disturb people's eyes. Then I also come here and reduce on this shade. Where is this one? This first one. All right, I think that's okay. So that's how we make user interfaces. Okay, so it's time consuming, but I think it's worth it. So on top there, I'm going now to put the what? The title itself. All right, let's go ahead and put the title. So the title, I'll just simply copy this guy, okay, and then just duplicate it here. Okay, so the only thing, so I'm just going to put here what? Title. So the only thing here, the title is going to be what? To be really black. Okay, so not just gray, but real black. So it should stand out, something like that. And maybe can make it also font size 22. And after we can put here some what? Divider. Let's try divider. There's this line called divider. I don't know if that makes sense, doesn't? Let's put height. I mean sized box and put height of maybe 20. Okay, put comma. All right, maybe 20 is too much. Put 15. That sounds maybe 10. I think that's okay. I think that's not ugly. I think that's okay. So I can just reduce on this height and put maybe 1. Maybe 1.1, something like that. All right, so that's the single news article. It's not the most beautiful one, but it is presentable. Okay, so when I come here, I can click on the news like this one, and I get the news details. Come here, I click on this news, I get the news what? The news detail. Let's take a screenshot of this. Let's take a screenshot. All right, so I want also these sliders to be clickable. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I hope you guys you've watched very carefully and you've understood how you can make such a kind of screen. So let's make this slider clickable. So to make the slider clickable, I'm going to how many minutes are remaining with 1 minute. Okay, I want to make this slider clickable. So to make the slider clickable, I'll just simply come to where? To our home screen. Where is it? This is one. And then I come to the slider. Where are they? The slider is here. This carousel. I just come here to the single item, this single item. So I'm just going to surround this single item with the what? with some kind of container, and then change that container to Inkwell so it can be clickable, and then put on top I think that's okay. Why is it not working? Let's first remove everything and see again. Alright, so I'll come to what? This is a single color, so I think I'll come here on top there, or here on very top. Let me sound it flat with center, and then put some Inkwell, and then put on top, in bracket, and then I'll just come and copy here what we have here in the widget. This logic of moving to the screen of the news, this one, I just come and copy this, and then come and put it here on this tab of this, so that when someone taps on you should be able to go there. So here we're accessing it through I, so I'll just simply put here I like this. Then okay, we're accessing it through what? Sorry, we have put on top in the wrong place. On top is supposed to be in this loop. Let's fix this, and then have our break. On top is supposed to be here. I think it should surround this what? It should surround this stack. So surround the stack with Inkwell, and then surround it to what? With Inkwell. Okay. Then give it to what? On top. Open bracket, curly bracket, then put that. I think that's okay. So import this, and then pass I think that's nice. That is okay. That is okay. So refresh. When you click on this, even you see now the what is clickable. So this is the problem that I wanted us to solve. This one is a problem that I want us to solve. Like when the text is too much, it will end up scrapping the widget. So let me just limit the text of the publisher. So I'll come here to the news item. So I'll come here where there is publisher, the author. Can I put something called dot substring? You should begin from 0 up to maybe 20. All right. So if you have more than 18 letters, should be truncated. Okay, but you can do something better than that. All right, that's it for this session. I hope you've understood. Maybe in the next session now we'll see how we master it, like how we can implement now that complete offline capability. All right, so that's it for today. That's it for today for this session. Let's go and have a break of how many minutes? Of 7 minutes, and then 3:05 we should all be back and have our second session. So I hope you've learned something new. I hope you've liked it. So what is causing this? Okay, so what is causing this is we are trying to truncate something that is more than 0. So just simply do like this to solve such a kind of problem. So just simply say that if length of news is less than 20, present it as it is. Put your question mark. Otherwise, truncate it. Yeah, that will solve the problem. All right. Okay. Let's have a short break. At 3:05, we should be back for another session. All right. I hope you've learned. See you in the next session, guys. Don't miss. This is where we're going to start now learning about the user interfaces.